What's up guys, today I'm here with Abraham and we're going to be reacting to a video called How Graham Stephan Makes $4,217,723 a year on YouTube by Noah Kagan. Abraham, you don't really know too much about Graham Stephan, do you?
I don't know really anything about him. I mean, I hear his name a lot. I know he's a big influencer and a lot of people really look up to him. I know he's got a ton of followers. Yeah, it'd be cool to learn about him.
I think a good way to put it is he's probably the most household name for financial YouTubers. If you were to pick anyone off the street and they were to know a financial YouTuber, it'd be him.
By the time he was 27, Graham Stephan had already made close to $6 million selling houses. But today at 30 years old, he's mostly retired from doing that to focus full-time on his YouTube empire and making way more money. So in this video, I'm gonna break down his 4 revenue streams that Graham Stephan is making his money from. Let's dive in.
What's really cool is that I couldn't even tell you who he was by looking at his face, but the fact that he's 30 years old, I was thinking we were gonna be watching somebody that was older. So he's 30 years old, so that's pretty cool. That's young. He's done really well.
How is Graham Stephan making his millions? Number 1, courses. He has 2 courses that he sells. One of them is called the Real Estate Agent Academy, and the other one is the YouTube Creator Academy. I think this is a great thing to think about, is that if you're opening a restaurant, you can also sell your cookbooks. So in his video about how much I make with 1 million subscribers, Graham revealed that he made over $500,000 in profit selling these 2 courses in 2019 alone.
People always bash people for teaching and having these big programs and charging so much when they're young and haven't really gone through stuff yet. Basically, he was selling programs in his 20s. For a lot of people, they'd be like, oh, why would you want to learn from someone in their 20s? They haven't had the experience. But obviously, this guy has done better than people a lot older than him in his industry.
You know what's actually funny is that YouTube course, I'd actually bought in that YouTube course right before we started this channel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Since then though, his channel has more than doubled in size from 1 to over 2.5 million subscribers. So we can estimate that because his audience has more than doubled, his sales of his courses probably doubled to at least $1 million in course revenue in 2020. So one thing that's really interesting is that he stopped promoting his merchandise at the GrahamStephanStore.com, do epic shit and sweaters and things like that, about a year ago. And so the reason we think he did that is because the profit margin is better on courses and digital goods than this physical stuff.
He's making way more money on courses than he is on merchandise, so that's why they stopped. But you could do both. Like, why? I mean, there's no reason why you can't make $1 million doing courses and X amount doing, and if it's too much of a hassle for you, you just have someone manage it. So I don't think that would be the reason.
I know Graham Stephan pretty well. I watched a good amount of his content.
Yeah.
One thing that he's notorious for, and a lot of people criticize him about, is that he doesn't outsource enough. His team is extremely small. He didn't even have anyone on his team until a year or 2 ago, and he only has 2 people even now.
Really?
He used to edit every single one of his videos that were to post on his channel. Until this day, he's still super hands-on in every single video he posts.
I mean, if that's what he enjoys doing, that's obviously the opposite of the ways most people tell you how to grow. I couldn't grow that way, but you know, if that works for you, then you know, it worked for you, and there's probably nothing wrong with it. This seems like he's doing really well.
Next up, we got brand deals. Brand deals really popular on YouTube. It's when you partner up with a company to feature them in your video. So a good example that Graham has done it with his channel is where morningbrew.com did a video with him. So let's check that out.
Huge thank you to our sponsor today, Morning Brew. They're a totally free daily newsletter that gets sent to you every Monday through Saturday, and they bring you up to speed with the most interesting business and finance related news all in under 5 minutes.
So based on his channel size, we're thinking these companies are spending anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000 for one call out.
20 to 30,000 per video. That seems probably about right, because I know, actually, I would think it's gonna be more than that. He's got 2.5 million subscribers. I know people that have 500,000 subscribers to 1 million subscribers that get basically close to that.
Yeah. So one thing that he hasn't mentioned, he posts like 4 times a week. Actually, sorry, he posts every day of the week throughout his few channels because he has multiple channels. But on his main channel, he posts 3 times a week, and the other he posts 2, not including his podcast. So he's posting like 6 a week, and he's getting brand deals consistently on every video.
He puts out around 4 sponsored videos a month. So if you do the math on his sponsored videos alone, that is almost $1 million a year.
So he just said he only gets 1 video a week there where he gets sponsors.
Yeah, I think this video is a couple years, like a year and a half old.
Okay.
I watched him recently, I know it's more than that.
But he has sponsors on all his videos.
Yeah, majority. If not all of them, a majority of them.
Next up is affiliate links. So in a perfect world, Graham would probably have every one of his videos sponsored by companies he likes. But he's mentioned on his channel that he's pretty picky when it comes to his sponsors because he doesn't want to promote anything he doesn't believe in. Since he isn't able to find some brand deals for every single video, instead he promotes products that he believes in and has a good affiliate program. So his main affiliate partner, it looks like from what we found, is a company called Webull, which he promotes almost in every one of his videos. Let's check it out.
There's 3 free stocks. Use the link down below in the description, and Webull is going to be giving you 3 free stocks when you deposit $100 on the platform.
I'm assuming if he's promoting the stock company, he does a lot of stuff with stocks?
Yeah, he does.
So he does a lot of real estate, stocks, stocks, YouTube.
And I think he's slowly getting into like business. Like he just opened up a coffee company, but I know that he mostly does real estate and stocks. And by stocks, he's a very conservative stock guy. He only invests in like index funds and super versatile stuff.
Can you stretch your little finger for me and hit that like button if you've gotten one thing out of this video so far?
You know what's interesting? Multiple times through his video, he keeps saying, all right, hit the like button, hit the like button.
Yeah,
he says
yeah.
that multiple times in a video. Is that common for people that have YouTube to say
Yeah.
it multiple times?
You know, it's actually funny that you say that. Graham Stephan is the person that almost like, I would say pioneered that. Like in his videos, he literally like makes fun of himself for how much he says it because he thinks that it like tremendously impacts YouTube algorithm.
I think so too.
Like if someone is more likely to like your video, and let's say you have a really high like ratio, it's more likely that YouTube will push it because they know that's getting a response.
People like it. Hey, so guys, make sure you hit the like button right now.
Graham is actually making money is from his YouTube ads.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you should hit the like button.
Our estimates based on Graham stuff is that his main channel does around 17 bucks CPM and $11 CPM. That means for every 1,000 views of his videos, he makes that much money. How many actually views did he get in 2020 so we can estimate his main income? So his main channel got around 100 million views in 1 month, and his secondary channel got almost 30 million views.
I think this video was actually filmed prior to COVID. When COVID happened, all finance YouTube CPMs went from like $11, like he was just saying, to like $40.
Yeah.
So every view was worth 4 times as much as it used to be. So that's when like people really started making like a ton of money off of it.
One of the things you can do in your own YouTube channel is that you can go look at which ads are getting shown on your channel, and you can't always just reach out to those sponsors directly and see if you can do more integrations or more direct deals with them. Because by the way, YouTube is taking 50% of the ad cut. And by the way, they probably should because they're hosting it, they're getting the ads, they're bringing the audience, so thank you, YouTube. But you can always find new advertisers by seeing who's advertising on your channel.
YouTube only gets 50%. I thought they got a lot higher than 50%.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
YouTube's only taking 50%. I bet you they're taking more.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great deal if they're giving 50% away.
Yeah, that's wild.
Number 5 is a bonus. We couldn't actually find a lot about how much real estate he actually owns today and how much money he actually makes from it. But I think what's fascinating for you is that if you're a baker, if you're a homemaker, if you're a developer, instead of actually doing your day job and making your money, he makes his money talking about his day job. And I actually found that really fascinating to think about no matter what your career is. I'm looking at you dentists out there.
What he just said, I think, is one of the most underrated things about YouTube. When people make content about their career, you're making money double as you could. One of a large niche is poker. So people would vlog themselves playing poker. Like they make more money on the video than if they could even play the game, or even if they cash first place, they make more money on that single video. So there was like no risk to them. They could only just make more money.
So courses, $1 million a year. Brand deals, $960,000 a year. Affiliates, $250,000 a year, which I actually think is a low estimate. And his AdSense revenue is at $2,007,723 a year. For a gorgeous pie chart yearly revenue of $4,217,723.
Obviously, $4.2 million is a lot of money to make in a year. But you know, the way I hear you talk about Graham, he's like huge. He's like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he's making significantly more than this now.
This is a couple years ago.
Yeah, this was a couple of years ago.
So it could be 4 or 5 times that now.
I think, yeah, conservatively that. I mean, for sure during COVID, at least quadruple that.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. One thing too is like I'd mentioned the AdSense quadrupled, but people were at home a lot, so they watched a lot more.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a higher CPM per view. It was also just you got more views.
You got a lot more views.
Yeah.
So what are some of the lessons that we can actually take away from Graham Stephan for ourselves? Number 1, focus on your best-selling and most profitable items. So he had merchandise and he had courses. You're gonna sell one of them probably either way. So the courses have a lot of margin and you don't have to ship anything and deal with it. So he actually deprioritized merchandise, and I have a lot of respect for that. And most business owners that I've seen in the years of our companies, they don't kill stuff. They just keep adding to the plate instead of focusing in. And I love that he did that.
I would agree with that first one.
You agree with that? I disagree.
So I would agree to a certain extent. I think that we're gonna say the same thing once I explain. I agree if something has to require your focus, but merch I know for a fact is something that requires very little to none of your focus if you just do it correctly. Like if you're like self-fulfilling everything, then of course that's like doesn't make any sense. But like there's companies that literally do that for influencers, and you just make free money by just promoting your own
That's what I'm
product.
thinking. It makes no sense. Literally, you could get rid of 99% of everything off your plate, really, to other people. There's very little that you really need to do. He obviously enjoys it. Like, if he enjoys it, he should definitely do it. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. But, you know, at some points, people don't enjoy it. But if he keeps enjoying it, you know, then it's good for him.
Number 4 in terms of the business tips is that if you are a real estate agent and you're making $100,000, why not at least record you becoming a real estate agent and the things you do in your day? And actually, that could turn out to make you the $4 million a year that Graham did.
I think that's exactly what we've done. Definitely over the last 7-8 months.
100%.
We started just documenting a lot more stuff and, you know, making videos and.
Graham's story is really cool. You know, I mentioned like he keeps costs pretty low, like he doesn't like having people on his team, but he keeps his overhead extremely low. Believe it or not, he started with this editing program that came free on the iPhone and MacBook. Until this day, it's the exact same things he uses. The camera that he used to start was his phone, and he bought a camera like as soon as he started getting like 100, 200,000 subscribers. Till this day, he still has the exact same camera.
I could relate to that because when you get something like, you know, when I had my first flip phone and then something else came out that's better, I didn't want to switch right away. I was just comfortable with it, you know what I mean? And then even when I got my first iPhone and then like 2, 3, 4 new iPhones came out after, like the iPhone 4 or 5, I still wanted my iPhone 2. I didn't want to upgrade. I was just got used to it and comfortable with it.
Right.
Obviously, once you switch, you can't go back, but you don't know what you don't know. And if it's working, there's something about the unknown that you're like, I don't want to have to screw with it.
I think there's that, and also his videos have maintained the exact same edit style, the exact same style throughout his career. And I think it's because he's like, hey, this is what got me big. If I start trying to fuck with shit, trying to get bigger, it might like turn back on me and it might do the opposite. So he's like, you know what, let me just keep it the exact same because it's worked this far. I mean, overall, it's cool to see someone that's doing that. And like, you know, these numbers I think are relatively small for what they actually are compared to what he's making today. But it goes to show that like, this was a guy that never intended just to be a full-time YouTuber. He just was documenting his life, and then over time it just turned out to be like a majority of his money.
He was one of the early people that did it, and you know, first to market's always, you know, good, and he was obviously was doing it way before a lot of people came after him.
You know, one thing too, we've seen a lot of Noah Kagan's videos. He's really good at like breaking down in a pretty cool way and like organizing the videos. I like his style. I like the way he breaks stuff down.
He's definitely cool to watch.
I think after this video, Noah actually went on Graham's podcast, and that's how I actually knew of Noah Kagan. Hopefully one day you're gonna go on the Iced Coffee Hour. I know a couple of your friends have already been on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of people knowing who you are. You know, we're doing all the right things. We're getting the name out there, teaching people a lot of stuff, having fun, so.
Yep, awesome. Well, if you guys like this video, want to see more like it, comment down below, like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. Don't miss more videos like this.
See you next time.